everyone. Welcome to November So Fun. I'm excited to be here with you and show you some of the projects I've made this month. Let's jump right in. With Christmas coming up really quickly, I was really drawn to this little book called It Takes Two, Quick and Easy Patterns for Two Fat Quarters. And I just thought that this book had several things in here that would make great little last minute gifts, and all of them come together very quickly, taking very little fabric. I made all of them from scraps that I had in my resource center, as Terry always says. So let me show you some of the projects that I like. I really thought these little lined drawstring bags were cute. They have a little contrasting band at the top where the drawstring goes through. And I thought these are darling for lots of different applications, for a kid's room, for organizing when you're traveling. These could be great little pouches to give as a gift to somebody special. Just lots and lots of applications for that. So I thought that was a fun little project. I also liked this little organizational sewing caddy with pockets on it that can fit over the arm of a chair or a couch. So when you're sitting and working on something and maybe watching something delightful like a murder mystery or Downton Abbey, as Lynn and I were discussing, or something like that, it's just a great way to keep yourself organized. It also would be great on your sewing table underneath your sewing machine. I made several of the projects out of here. This is called a Tisket, a Tasket, and it's this cute little basket that has a handle that folds up in a knot on the side. And let me show you, I made mine out of Christmas fabric. So I made two of them, and they go together very quickly. I thought they'd be great to stuff little presents in. And what I did a couple years ago, those of you that have been coming to Sew Fun for a while might remember a Christmas quilt I made that had a black background and these diamonds in the middle. It was a cool pattern. And it came, the fabric had this printed panel. And I had some scraps left over of that fabric, and I had the panel. And so I cut out these little guys, these cute little woodland creatures out of the panel. And I put Wonder Under on the back and fused them down. I cut it out with my pinking shears and then just stitched it down. So it's a little bit of like raw edge pinked applique, but because it's fused, it's not going to fray. But I think it kind of really dresses those up. Super easy, really cute, darling for a gift. I also liked... I'll show you in the book. Let's see. Maybe I will show you if I can find it quickly. Oh, yeah. They call it a fat quarter bucket. And these have a stiff like craft bond in them to give them structure. These cute little buckets. And again, they would make a great gift. They'd be great for organization in a bedroom or a kid's room or a baby's room or your sewing room. Or I think they'd be cute. You could put socks or rolled up tights in them in your closet. I just think they're super useful and really cute. And again, came together really quickly. And the craft bond inside gives them lots of structure. So they stand up really nicely and have lots of structure to them. And then the final project I made out of this book is the ruffled zipper pouch. And this has got a really interesting way to construct it. This is my version of that, and you might recognize this beautiful fabric. It's some pieces of leftover Tilda fabric from some Sew Fun projects I made a couple years ago. But look at how the end is, like it's all folded up like this little origami business or something, to give it this little boxy structure. And I really thought that was clever and attractive. I like the shape of it. And the way you do it is that when you get the pouch, when you make the pouch, you have the two sides folded together and then you pleat them. And so I'll show you, I'll flip it inside out so you can see how it goes together. You fold it together with a pleat and sew it across the end like this. And they recommended zigzagging across those raw edges, but I didn't like the way that looked, so I just put little binding along the raw edges. So it's just folded together, pleated on the sides, and then you bind it, and then when you turn it right side out, it makes this nice little boxy shape. Like that on the end. So again, this was a pretty quick little project, a good way to use up some pretty pieces of material that I had left over. And I did a little contrasting zipper, and I think this will be really pretty. It'd be a pretty little gift. It would be a really pretty little makeup bag or something like that for somebody special that you like. Okay. The next project I want to tell you about is this really great bag called the Aspen Crossbody. It comes in 2 different sizes, and this is the smaller size. This bag went together really pretty quickly. Nothing was very difficult. She does have a free video on her website that is a little tutorial if you have problems with any of the steps or instructions. And it has tons of pockets and organizational things. Now, I chose to make mine out of the body out of waxed canvas, which has a ton of structure already in it. So this bag stands up on its own. It's very stiff. When you're sewing with waxed canvas, anything you make out of it, the more you use it, the more you handle it, the softer it gets. Now, when turning it right side out through the lining, it is going to get kind of wrinkled and crinkled because of the wax. But if you do not like that look, you can take your blow dryer and just go like this with the hot heat, and it will slightly melt that wax and smooth out all those wrinkles. You won't see them anymore. But this bag has a fun zipper pocket on the outside that, of course, is lined. On the pattern, they have this zipper cover piece that goes along so that across the top here, so it would be a hidden zipper, but I wanted the zipper to show, so I just did not include that piece. On the back, it has a divided slip pocket that is quite large. And then it has this kind of a gusseted zipper closure. This is the first bag I've made that had this type of closure. And I thought it was going to be tricky, and it is so easy to make. Really, really easy to install that. And the directions are really clear. On the inside, it has 2 slip pockets and also an inset zipper pocket. And she's got really good, if you've never made one of those before, they look a little intimidating, but they're really easy. And she's got really good instructions for how to do that. I think this is going to be a really fun bag to carry. I think it's going to be a great size for traveling and other things. And her pattern called for the strap to be made out of one of the fabrics that you choose. And I chose to do it out of webbing. So I just bought some cotton webbing and made my strap out of that rather than fabric. And so, of course, you can adjust it. I have the hardware for this bag in several colors for you guys so that you can choose. It's just the basic hardware kit with D-rings and swivel hooks and this slide buckle. And another really, really awesome notion that I used a ton, and I sew with zippers so much that this has really been a little bit of a game changer. It's called a zipper jig. And if I open this, I can show you how it works. It is so slick and cool. Try not to destroy the box since this will be somebody's. So this is what it looks like, and it has this non-slip surface. You can set this down on your table and it won't slip. And what you do is you put your zipper pull right over here, it has 2 slots for a number 3 zipper and a number 5 zipper. And the number 5 zipper are the standard bag zippers that we often have that are by Sally Tomato or by Annie, or we have a couple other sources we brought in for you. So you put the zipper pull on here, and then you just insert the 2 edges of your zipper you want to install the zipper pull on into the 2 sides of the zipper pull, and this holds it secure, and you just pull it through and it attaches. So slick and easy. It's like having an extra hand, because the hardest part about using zippers in your projects is installing the pulls when you have like 3 yards of zipper and you're cutting it down to size. So I used it a ton already. Like, this is one of those kind of game changer notions for me. I really, really like it. And I think you will too. So this has been a really fun little project with lots of great options. All right, I want to show you this darling, darling hippo. Now, we have done Funky Friends factory patterns before for So Fun, and they're usually wildly popular because they are just so stinking cute. And so when I was talking about my projects, Mallory is like, there's a couple of Funky Friends factory patterns that I want to make for my kids this Christmas. Will you do them for So Fun? And since she's making it, I was like, sure, I'm all in for that. So we love this little Heather the hippo because it kind of goes along with that. You guys know that really, that Christmas song that is very controversial. People either think it's completely obnoxious or they totally love it. That one about, I only want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Again, it's a very controversial Christmas song. But I thought that this hippo is so cute. Mallory made it out of this cute fall leaf fabric. And her little Delaney, who is 5 now, her little lovey thing that she got so attached to as a baby that she still sleeps with every night is this little tiny square of blanket that has a little stuffed hippo head on it. And actually, one of her first words was hippo. I think it was like mom, dad, hippo, in that order. And she, when Mallory was making this, kind of lost her little mind. Like, she loves this so much. She just doesn't even have words. She told Mallory, Mom, I'm obsessed. I'm just obsessed with that hippo. I don't know what she's learning in kindergarten. But it's super, super cute, and all their patterns go together. Very, very darling. I think Mallory's going to make another one out of Christmas fabric just to have for that fun little Christmas song that apparently she really likes. But this little hippo is so much fun. We love him. Okay, the next project I want to talk to you about is the Cosmos sweatshirt and skirt pattern. And I really, really love this. It's a pattern that comes with 2 different styles of sweatshirt and a pencil skirt. And this pattern includes sizes 0 to 20, but we also have the same pattern with sizes 16 to 34. They're called curvy sizes. And it's really cute. There's an option for a cuffed sleeve or a bell sleeve like this. There's a funnel neck or just a crew neck option. And so I made the option that has a cuffed sleeve and the funnel neck out of this really, really soft sweatshirt fleece. But I made a little bit of a rookie mistake that I would like you to not make the same mistake that I did. And the mistake I made is this fabric, while it is stretchy, is not quite stretchy enough. Because I can barely force stretch this funnel neck over my head to get it on. And also, the thing that I realized is that I can see the grain is going up, like the knit of this is going up and down. So that's how I sewed it, because that made sense to me. But the stretch, while it is stretchy this way, the greater stretch is up and down. So make sure that you're doing the direction with the greatest stretch going this way, because this is only four, the body of this is only 4 pieces, 2 sleeves, a front and a back. So I can get it on, but it is like I have to force it over my head to get it on. But it's super soft and cozy. I think it's really flattering and easy to wear. And it went together very, very quickly, like tracing my pattern pieces and cutting it out and sewing it up. It probably took me an hour and a half to make. And I whipped it up on my serger, which if you don't have a serger, you probably need one. So super quick and easy, really cozy. I think I'm going to wear this a lot this winter. Okay. Next, let's talk about this cute little inside out pouch pattern. Set it up here for a second. We'll move our little hippo. Oh, everything's falling. So you all know I love any kind of little zipper pouch or organizational pouch. And I thought this one was really cute. It has 2 side zipper pockets and a main zipper pocket. And it's got this kind of triangle shape with gussets on the sides. So again, I used some Tilda fabric that I already had left over from a Sew Fun project a couple years ago to make this. And I had this fun contrasting zipper. The 2 side pockets have clear vinyl on them, and I used the Kimberbell colored vinyl for this. The pieces were just perfect. I just had to trim them down a little bit for these 2 sides, and I used kind of the light green, so you can see kind of the light green of the vinyl, but it comes in all kinds of pretty candy colors. And we usually have that in the stores. So that's a really fun option to do. This pouch opens nice and wide, and you can see how the gusseted sides work there. So when you zip it up, it's like a triangle shape, but when you open it, it's nice and wide, and you can easily access what you need in here. It was not difficult to make, even though I'd never done anything with these gusseted sides like this, but the instructions were really good. It has a little grab handle on one end, the end opposite the zipper, and then when you're sewing it together, you just put the binding around the raw seams on the sides to finish it off. So it went together quickly. I think this would make a beautiful gift for somebody, or it would be a really fun little accessory tote for sewing supplies if you're traveling with your sewing stuff or going to a class or something like that, because you have the clear pockets on both sides and then a bigger pocket inside. It would also be a great little bag to take with you to do some kind of handwork if you had to go somewhere where you had to wait, like a doctor's office or jury duty, or at a kid's game or something like that, where you wanted a little project to take with you. It just keeps everything nice and secure in the zipper pockets. And so this was fun to make. It has Peltex in the bottom to give it a little bit more structure and support. And it just went together really well. Her directions are really good. So I think that you will like that. Let's see if I can put this back. We can talk about something else. Let's talk about this cute little artisan apron. I really fell in love with this. I have a whole bunch of grandkids. I have 8 grandchildren now. And all of them love to cook, and they are very artistic, and they like to do projects like most kids do. And I have made different kinds of aprons for them in the past, and I just thought this pattern was really cute. And what I liked about it is you can see how it just crosses over on the back. Here's what I really like about it. There's no ties that are going to come undone, and they can put this on themselves. You don't have to tie the apron on. And that's a big plus with little guys. It's designed to be made out of cotton and fully lined. And then included in the pattern are lots of cute embroidery designs that you can then do cute embroidery details on the apron itself. I went in a slightly different direction because this is like going to be like a little artist smock or a cooking smock. I wanted it to be much more easily cleaned. So I made this one for Mallory's Ryder, who will be 9 this coming Sunday. He loves to cook, and he narrates himself when he's cooking like he's in a cooking show. It is absolutely hilarious. He'll tell you, now I'm mixing in this and this, and he stands there narrating like he's in some kind of cooking show. You can tell what he's been around that Mallory has been watching clearly. So I have this cute laminated cotton. So it's going to be really easy to clean or wipe off. And it's black and it has tiny little monsters all over it. And so what I did, this is the size 8-9. And so what I did, because it's the laminated cotton, I did not line it, but I just bound all the edges in bias tape. And it went together super quickly. It was really easy to do. It has 2 pockets. And the way it just crosses over in the back, super easy to wear and easy to sew together. So I think that he will like this. I think it will be super useful. And then he can continue on with his career as a celebrity chef, which is, I think, currently what is in the offerings of his future. But I think that that's going to be really fun. I think he will like that. And of course, I have another one I'm making for Delaney because, well, that will have to happen if I make one for Ryder. So hers will not have monsters on it, but she's going to get one of those too. All right, let's talk about this book, which I really have enjoyed. It's called Home for the Holidays, and it is just chock full of all kinds of really, really beautiful patterns of things that you can make to really jazz up your home for the holidays or to give as gifts. So let me talk a little bit about some of the things. I really did love this quilt, this star quilt, but it was a little bit too similar to other quilts that I have, Christmas quilts. So I did not do that, but some of the other projects in here, I loved this pillow, this big pillow with all the triangles. So I did a slight variation of this pillow right here, using some of the leftover fabrics from this quilt kit that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So I had leftover fabrics and a really pretty leftover panel. So I did the same half square triangle designs, but in the middle, I just put one of the panels. And I needed a little extra fabric around the panel to make it work with the half square triangles. So with other scraps of that fabric, I just cut a really skinny little border that I put around the panel to make it big enough so that it would fit the measurements here in between the half square triangle strips. And then I just did an envelope closure in the back, which is like my new favorite way to do pillows and zippers. It's so much easier than trying to sew the zipper into the seam. So the back is also pretty, but this one's together really quickly and nicely. And I kind of like my little version of that. I think it worked out really well. Okay, another project from this book. Oh, I did not make this one, but look how pretty that quilt is. I thought that was really pretty. And here. Where is, oh, here it is. I did this little mug rug. Mug rugs are something that we have very, very frequently had as various Sew Fun projects. We've had cute embroidery ones. We've had them in different books and projects we've done. I personally have never made a mug rug before now. And now that I have made one, I think that I will make lots and lots of them because they're so satisfying. They're so small. You can use up your scraps of fabric. There's a million different designs. You can wash them. I just thought it was really fun. So I made this really cute little mug rug using the same design, the same pattern here. Again, I used the leftover fabrics. I guess it could go this way. The leftover fabrics from my quilt kit. And it did not call for this in the pattern, but when I was thinking of, I mean, it's kind of big. When I was thinking about the usefulness of something like a mug rug, I want it to be able to protect my tabletop a little bit. And so even though the pattern did not call for this, I lined mine with Insulbrite. So it also is a little bit like a pot holder or a trivet or something of that nature, because the Insulbrite will protect my tabletop from anything, you know, like a hot mug or something that's put on here. So it has fusible fleece underneath the quilting and then a layer of Insulbrite. And then I just quilted it, straight line quilting on my machine. And what I did is I used this Quilter Select Free Fuse powder, which I have not used before, to kind of fuse all the layers together before quilting it. And I haven't used this before, and I used it a couple different times this month. And I really like it for some applications. There's a couple of things to kind of keep in mind when you're using this. I mean, it isn't for everything, but again, like so many things with any project you're doing, the correct tool for the correct project makes all the difference. It was really great for something small like this. However, it needs quite a bit of direct heat. So when I was trying to fuse, it did a great job of fusing the back panel to the Insulbrite. Just the heat was just going through this cotton. But when I was trying to fuse then the back panel, the Insulbrite, to the front panel that had fusible fleece fused to it, so I had the fleecy Insulbrite and then the fleece. I had a hard time getting enough direct heat to go through all those fleece layers to melt the little powdery glue between those two layers. So I did get it to work enough that it was easy for me to quilt this and nothing shifted. But what I learned is 2 layers of fleece and 2 layers of fabric, that's just really probably more than this is designed to hold really, really well. So it worked fine for something small like this, but if you were doing something big, you probably wouldn't want to do it with that many layers. It probably wouldn't work great. But for so many other things, it works really, really great. You do want to kind of use it sparingly at first because it's just like a powdery adhesive and it will powder away and get on other things that you don't want glue on if you're not careful. So again, really great for small projects. I think it would be great for applique. I think it would be great for something like a binding around something that you want to diffuse quickly. If you could just shake just a tiny little bit along your edge where you're trying to fold the binding over. But it was a really fun little notion that I personally have not used before. Another project I really liked in this Home for the Holidays book was this table topper. It's just a really simple pattern with the blocks are 3 strips of fabric and then just turned and sewn together. So each one is turned 90 degrees from each other. I do not have a table in my house that really is the right size for a table topper. So what I did is I made it twice as long and made it into a table runner. And again, I used some of the leftover panels from my quilt kit and made it into this table runner. And I kind of like it's kind of nice and chunky. It's not really skinny. And so I think that that will look really nice. The panels then take the place of 4 of the blocks. And I just made it twice as long, so I used 2 of the panels. This went together super quickly and was fun to do. Again, the same as in the pillow. The panels were not quite big enough to measure these 4 blocks, 2 on a side. So I added just little strips of the leftover fabric to do a tiny little border around the panel to make it the exact size that I needed to fit within the pattern of the piecing. Mallory quilted this for me using the edge-to-edge quilting in a pattern that has ornaments and Christmas trees and holly leaves in it. And so I think that that turned out really good. And I know many of you are big fans of the edge-to-edge quilting. We have 2 new expansion packs for you guys. They have lots of fun things on them. They have holiday stuff. They have words. They have random meandering patterns. This one has penguins on it and frogs and dragonflies and things like that. One has paper airplanes on it that I think is really cute. One has like sunflowers on it. They're just really fun. So I know a lot of you always get the expansion packs and use edge-to-edge quilting a lot. And this is pack 13 and pack 15 that we have for you. Another fun embroidery thing that I have for you this month is this cool little OESD Essentials Embroidery Kit. And it has a bunch of really great tools. It has 2 different pairs of scissors that are curved and have very sharp little pointed ends. A longer pair and a shorter pair. And of course they're cute and turquoise colored. It has this tiny pointy little pair of tweezers, a tiny little like stiletto-y pointy spatula thing. And this is a tiny little pointy pair of snips. And so this is a really great little kit that keeps all your essential tools for embroidery handy. It's easy to take with you. And it just kind of has everything you need. So this would be a great gift for yourself or someone who's getting into embroidery. Everything they need to get started is in this cute little kit in a nice little handy zipper case. So we really are kind of enamored with that fun little thing. Okay, let me tell you about some of the other good notions I have for you this month. All right, I have some fun tools. I can get myself organized. I'll set this down. All right, a couple of fun things that I have for you that I really, really have liked. The first one is these jumbo Wonder Clips. I, like most of you, have lots and lots of Wonder Clips, but I didn't have these, and I have been amazed at how much I used these. I used these when making this bag because they're so much longer and have a longer reach. I also used my Sew Tights when making this bag. I think that these are super useful when piecing, when you want to clip together like all your 3.5 inch squares of fabric that you cut. And to go along with these, I have these great organizing stickers, and they come in a bunch of different numbers and letters, And they also have measurements on them. So it goes 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2, on like that. They have a bunch of blank ones and a bunch of blank ones that just have lines on them. So you can write in what you need and how you want to organize stuff. And they're made to be the exact size to fit right on your Wonder Clips. So when you're going through your quilt pattern and you need to cut, 36 2 1/4 inch squares, well, you've got a little sticker that says 2 1/4 inches, and you put that on your clip and you clip it to your stack, and then there's no question about what your stacks are. So great, great, great tools to keep you organized, help you with your quilting and your sewing. Another fun little notion I have for you guys is this really beautiful pack of long arm pins. Pins get lost, pins get bent, pins get broken and sewn over. And so every so often you need to replace them. And so these are very thick and strong and very, very long because they're to attach your quilt top and your quilt back and your batting all to your long arm rolls. And they are in different colors, and the ends are shaped like a leaf, and they have a texture to them. So they're easy to grab. For me with my arthritis, this is easier to grab than a ball on the end. And so I thought these were really a fun addition if you need that. We all love magic pins. And I have a new set that I have been using extensively for the last few months. These are called Ultra Grip, and they're long. They're 2 1/4 inches long. I like this package of 100 because a package of 50, I feel like I use all of them. The grip is silicone, so it's heat resistant, so it's not going to melt if you accidentally iron over it. I like that they're extra long. I like that the grip is easy for me to grab, and this is a really, really great set of magic pins. Another cool notion I have for you is this magnetic pin cushion slap band. So I really love how that 1980s slap band craze is coming back now with useful tools on it. Like, I love the slap bands we have to go around our stabilizer rolls. And this one is really cool. It goes around your wrist and it has this nice big strong magnet on it. And so you're wearing it, and when you're taking pins off, it's really easy to just put them then on your wrist, and they're not going to fall. They're not going to get, under your bare feet. They're not going to get in your chair, and they're not going to roll under your sewing machine, and they're going to just stay right there on your wrist on this nice strong magnet. So I thought that was a really useful thing. I have a really cool new hand sewing tool. This is called the Thimble Pack Plus, and it has several different types of hand sewing things to help your fingertips. It has 2 different little metal tips. One has a whole bunch of little indents in it, kind of like a golf ball on the inside, and it's kind of like concave. So you can stick, it comes with sticky things, and a little sticky dot, and you can stick it on the back of these 2 little metal ones. This one just has like a round divot in it, and stick it on your finger. And so the sides and the concave nature of it means that the end of your needle is not going to slip off of it or out of it. And the little dots kind of hold your needle there. You can stick it right to your finger to push the needle through when you're hand sewing. It also comes with sticky dots that are made of leather that are very supple and strong also for different kinds of hand sewing. And it comes with oval and round clear silicone sticky dots that you can stick on the ends of your fingers to help you to grab and pull your needle through. So lots of good hand sewing little tools to help you have less hand pain and to stitch better and faster. Another fun notion I have are these batting scissors. They're super long, which helps when you're cutting something as big as batting. They have comfort, like grippy handles, and they're really sharp, and they have like round blunted ends. I feel like so many times when I'm trying to cut batting with my regular scissors, the pointed end is like, as I'm cutting along, sticking itself into the batting and getting caught. So it's difficult to cut it easily and straightly um and cleanly. And these really, really help. Nice, they're big, they're sharp, and the rounded tip really makes cutting through the batting easy. And then finally, this small little item, and this, I don't know, it's always hard to choose favorites, but maybe this might be my favorite notion. It is called a mat cleaning pad. If you have cut batting or fusible fleece or minky or something like that on your self-healing cutting mat with a rotary cutter, you know that those tiny little fibers get caught in the cut line on your mat, on your self-healing mat, and are almost impossible to get out. And then, oh, it's so frustrating to have this beautiful mat that is new and I just cut some fleece or minking on it, and now it has all these lines of fuzzies on it that I have tried and tried every little trick that I could Google to clean that out, and it's really hard. But this little heart-shaped, squishy little mat cleaning pad, you can stick your fingers right in it. The top is open, and behind this little label, it's hard to see, is all, actually, I think I can open this and show you. I can open it carefully. Hold on. Ta-da! So you stick your fingers in it like this, and it has all these little, it's like made out of silicone. It has all these little different shaped nubs and wavy lines and stripes, and then you just rub it on your mat, on your self-cleaning mat, and it picks up all those little fuzzies. And I was skeptical, but I'm telling you, it really does work. And I love this thing. It's really saving my mats. And so this is another one of those fun little items that everybody who uses a self-cleaning cutting mat can use. It would be a great little stocking stuffer for any sewist in your life, or a stocking stuffer for yourself, which is also great. Okay, the last thing I have for you today is this Moda Cheer and Merriment quilt kit. And here's the quilt pattern instructions. This kit, I feel like, for one thing, the quilt is really beautiful. And this is my version of it. But the other thing I love about this kit is they are so generous with how much fabric that they give you. Because I made the whole quilt, and then I also made the pillow and the mug rug and the table runner. And I still have pieces and chunks and scraps and some bigger pieces of the fabric left over in here. The pattern has all these different printed panels, and also on the printed panel in the pattern is a long strip of poinsettias that you could use for something, and also 4 or 6, I'm trying to remember how many, of printed cute little tags that you could cut out with pinking shears and fuse down to some batting with some material on the back and do really cute little labels or tags or gift toppers or something like that. So lots and lots of things to make in here. The quilt top, the directions are very good. It's not a fast project by any means. And I would say it's not a beginner project, but their instructions are really clear. They have really good illustrations, and it's totally doable. It's just not particularly fast, but it makes up really, really beautifully. So I really enjoyed working with this quilt kit. That's all I have to show you today. I hope that I will see you in person next week at So Fun. And I want to remind you that when we do filming, you're not seeing all the projects that we're going to have. So I hope that we see you guys in the stores for our open house in December and in January, where you're going to see many more projects and get to visit with everybody in person. Have a great holiday season.